Okay, since algebraic division is the reverse of algebraic multiplication, it makes sense that if we're multiplying, we're adding powers. Therefore, if we're dividing, we need to subtract powers. Okay, so in the simplest form, if I've got x to the m and I divide it by x to the n, I've got m minus n. Okay, the top number minus the bottom number. Now, if I have a coefficient like these, the a and the b, I just need to divide them, okay? So here, a divided by b, in other words, 8 divided by 4 is 2, and I subtract powers, x to the power of 7 minus x to the power of 2, x to the power of 5. Now, quite often they don't end up just as a single number. We need to actually have quite often they end up as fractions. So here's a good example of that. Okay. Remember, if there's no coefficient, the coefficient is 1. So 1 divided by 4 just stays as 1 over 4. Okay. And then x to the power of 9 divided by x to the power of 1. X to the power of 1. Remember, if there's no power, the power is 1. So x to the power of 9 divided by x to the power of 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. Now, rather than writing 1 over 4 x to the 8, we can write that as x to the 8 divided by 4. Because remember, x to the 8 times 1 is x to the 8. Okay. Now, sometimes you'll need to actually just simplify the fraction. Okay, so that 1 over 4 we couldn't simplify, but 32 over 24 we can. If we divide top and bottom by 8, I'm going to get myself 4 over 3. Okay. Sorry for the pause there. 4 over 3, and then I'm going to take x to the 10 divided by x to the 2. Okay, we're subtracting powers. 10 minus 2 is 8. Okay. Last one. If we have a larger power on the top, it stays on the top. So it says 10 minus 2 is 8. Okay. So see here, this first one, we're going to simplify the fraction. That's cool. 15 20ths is 3/4. Now, the larger number, the larger power of x is actually on the bottom. X to the power of 5, x to the power of 3. So, there's two ways of thinking about this. You can either go 5 minus 3 is 2, and there's more x's on the bottom, so it's x squared. The other way of thinking about it is, we're still doing 3 minus 5. 3 minus 5 is negative 2, and x to the negative 2, well, that's actually the same as 1 over x squared. So you just take the power and bring it to the bottom. Okay. Now, y to the power of 5 divided by y squared, we just subtract powers. 5 minus 2 is 3. There's more y's on the top than on the bottom, so they stay on the top. Alright, so if you ever get in a situation where you've got a larger power on the bottom, you just leave the subtraction of the 2, and you just leave that number on the bottom.